Nathan, I've been meaning to talk to you about your movie.
Yeah.
You picked like a John Carpenter movie, like everybody. John Carpenter movie everyone loves.
I didn't pick vampires.
No. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh no, I didn't pick Village of the Damned.
No, come on, Nathan. The other one.
Oh no, rest assured, I did not pick the perfect, flawless Ghost of Mars.
The best Ice Cube movie, would you say?
Absolutely.
Okay.
100%. Almost as good as Are We Done Yet?
Almost.
But
no, it's not that movie, Nathan. You picked They Live.
Yeah.
I mean this movie is fresh. Like, people love this movie.
This movie is retroactively fresh. Trust me.
I mean, but like, what about this movie is like crazy that we can even talk about?
Well, there's teleporting watches.
I mean, I guess.
There's also a fight scene with Keith David that lasts conservatively for 3 hours.
Yeah, I mean, long action scenes is like Michael Bay stuff.
Yeah, but also there are skeleton aliens.
Skeletons. There were skeletons in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Right, but you can't see these skeleton aliens unless you have special sunglasses that a church makes.
Oh, yeah, magical sunglasses. I mean, whatever.
Did I mention to you that the sunglasses also help you hear things, apparently?
You son of a bitch! I'm in! You know when I pick a movie, that's when I'm under pressure now. The question always comes back to me, what were they thinking now? What were they thinking? What were they thinking?
What up, everyone? Oh,
What the hell is wrong with you? Knock it off!
Oh. Maybe we'll save that for next week?
Maybe.
Okay.
Oof.
All right.
Anything to brighten the spotlight on that one.
This is What Were They Thinking?
It is.
I'm Brendan.
I'm Nathan.
And, we usually talk about some bad to questionable movies every week here on this podcast.
Yep.
We are currently on the road to WrestleMania.
Yes, we are.
So we will, of course, be talking about a wrestling, either wrestling related or that has a wrestler in it movie. And then next week, of course, will be our pay-per-view discussion.
Yes.
I'm confirming with our standards and practices here. Is that what we're doing? Okay.
Yes.
The sponsors are on board? Okay.
They are.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Harris brothers are nodding at me. We're good to go.
With their armbands?
Whoa, who's that? Nathan, you have a guest in the studio.
We
there.
do have a guest, yes. So that ghost voice that you just heard is none other than El Gilberto himself, a.k.a. Ryan Gilbert.
Oh, thanks for the intro.
Our resident wrestling expert.
The only one.
No, we've had Josh Kosapsakis on here, but he's more of a comic book guy.
Okay.
Yeah, you're our wrestling go-to.
Cool.
Yeah,
Now,
just like Jerica is our extreme sports expert.
Yes, just like that. Now, Ryan, you've joined us for Ready to Rumble.
Yeah, pro wrestlers versus zombies and
Yeah.
backyard dogs. So when I was told it was going to be They Live, just like you and probably a lot of people, they're like, Nathan, what were you thinking with They Live? Because I thought you were going to go with like Body Slam, another one with Roddy Piper, or Slammed, that bar wrestling with Zeus. But They Live. Yep. Very odd choice.
Nope.
But upon rewatching, I could see why it's perfect for the show.
Yeah. So just to get this out of the gate right away, because people right now are like screaming at their iPods. This is we understand the reaction for this movie.
Well, yes, because personally, I feel while I do enjoy this movie immensely, I feel it gets remembered through rose-colored glasses.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it took a critical shit-kicking when it first came out.
And brace yourselves, everyone. Despite the immensely entertaining comment, I'm going to say something that may rock this this whole podcast. It's not flawless.
Damn right.
Whew, that just felt
the
good.
premise alone has flaws.
Oh, that felt good to get off my chest.
We are all on the same page in that regard.
1988.
Huh? No, it's 10. Yep.
Yeah, 1988.
Magical time. Yep.
John Carpenter's They Live. I was 2.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, it was 1 year old or 3.
Or maybe 1, because I was late 86. So, But yeah, Nathan, tell us what They Live is all about.
Well, I think we kind of broke it down pretty well in that opener, but for the folks who want a good breakdown, straightforward, Roddy Piper plays a drifter who stumbles into Los Angeles looking for work. Just because, apparently this is some sort of, I don't know, is it apocalypse or not?
I don't think so. I think it's supposed to be like modern day, but it's got that twist there, obviously.
Because, well, the shanty town he lives in has a real Mad Max type feel to it.
Yeah.
But I digress. He comes into town looking for work. He's got his own tools and everything. And in the course of, getting a job and living in the aforementioned shanty town, he stumbles upon a conspiracy group or a freedom fighter group, depending on how you look at it, who are operating out of this, I guess, an Episcopal church. And they're
Joe Piscopo's church.
No, Episcopal. They're Episcopalians. Rastafarians, whatever you want to call them. They are making these sunglasses because they know that the Earth has been stealth invaded by aliens who are pushing us towards consumerism and wastefulness so as to terraform our planet slowly without any real notice on our part to match their home world.
Mm-hmm. It's the perfect plan.
It is, kind of, but unbeknownst to these aliens, or maybe beknownst to them because they do start fighting back against it, these freedom fighters or conspiracy theorists have developed these sunglasses that you can wear so you can see not only the true form of the aliens, and they look like toxic waste skeletons when you see their true form, and you can also see all the subliminal messages they've hidden in our magazines, billboards, even on the money, so as to keep driving humans towards consumerism and just wanting to own more stuff, as George Carlin would say. Ultimately, Roddy Piper befriends, maybe begrudgingly, Keith David. After a 7-hour-long fight, they join forces to fight against these aliens and to stop them spreading their despicable messages. Also, Meg Foster's there.
Starring Evil Lynn.
There you go.
Who
I feel she was more animated in that movie than she was in this.
Well, and I was going to say, not to skip ahead too far, but as soon as you see her, you're just like, oh, okay, the villain.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's definitely got a very Ed Harris thing about her.
Yeah, that is goddamn Evil Lynn, guys. Like, come on. that is some weird casting that to cast Meg Foster as the woman that you're like, oh, she's on board with the good guys. Like, I don't know, man.
They should have got the lady from McBain or The Running Man.
Yeah, Maria
There you
Conchita
go.
Alonso.
That's her. I didn't want to butcher that name.
And also the woman that is terrorized by Nicolas Cage, offset and onset.
Okay.
In Vampire's Kiss.
Oh,
Probably not
yes,
offset.
you're right.
I'm starting rumors.
I don't know. He's been known to be fairly method. But but not in like a Trump Sizemore kind of way where it's not so much method as it is meth head.
Correct. That is the meth head school of acting. That's different.
Right.
He did, as of today, though, Nicolas Cage did visit his own tomb dressed all in leather.
Okay.
So, just to point that out. Happy Ash Wednesday, everyone, when we're recording this.
All right.
So, yeah, They Live. John Carpenter. I gotta say, right out of the gate, it's got nothing to do with the movie, but that fucking Studio Canal logo is so loud. Every time, it always catches me completely off guard. Like, I have the volume at like a 2, and it's just like,
Yeah, I believe that they got the rights long afterwards. I think this was originally put out by like Live Entertainment.
Yeah, a fairly small like production company.
Yeah.
And it's a fairly small budget, and it was a flop at the time, like you said, critically, but also financially.
Yes, I remember when this came out, watching at the movies, and both Siskel and Ebert essentially saying, we get what he's going for, but the execution was flawed. Thumbs down.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of two first names during the credits.
Yes.
Peter Jason, Keith David, Raymond Jacques, Roddy Piper.
Roddy Piper.
Maybe not two first names, but I just wanted to point him out.
Yeah.
Roddy Piper.
Not Rowdy Harrington.
No, and not Roderick Toombs.
No.
Just Roddy Piper.
Because this was his first big thing, wasn't it?
After Body Slam.
I was gonna say
This was his first big thing.
His first big mainstream thing, but not first star, but his second starring role.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Hell Comes to Frogtown came out the same year.
Oh.
They made 3 of those.
I barely knew that they made one.
So yes, if this is we're to believe this is 1988. This is Bush's America, which he got from Reagan.
Yeah. Well, I think it's supposed to be like right at the tail end of Reagan, because
Probably
I think Bush came in early. He would have been sworn in January '89. So and this is '88, so it's probably being filmed in like '87.
So yeah, this would be Reagan's America.
This is Reagan and Thatcher all kind of rolled into
here. Yeah. So I mean, kudos to John Carpenter. I'm gonna get this right out of the way for what he does with the movie and the statement he's looking to make. I don't feel that the people at the time were ready to listen to that.
No, I mean, he was one of the most popular presidents while he was in power.
He's still quite popular with a lot of centrists and moderates as well, because with everything that's going on now and everything that went on with Bush Jr.'s regime, everyone was like, they were pining for Reagan's Republicans.
And you know things are bad when you're doing that.
Yeah. Right?
So Roddy Piper, what does he do to start? He goes off to the 1988 version of Going on the Job Bank website.
Yeah, going down to the old unemployment office.
With a lovely woman there to greet him.
And I think it's so funny that she's just like dismissive of the fact that he worked for 10 years.
Ugh, commitment, get out.
Don't know if you're reliable or not. Well, we'll call you if we find something.
Probably about that long hair of his.
Yeah.
Yeah, long hair. You get out of here, you hippie. But hold on though, guys. He said he's worked for 10 years. Is he counting like WWF and or other organizations combined as 10 years? Because that's not working for the same company.
Well, no, it's not working for the same company, but it's still doing the same job.
Oh, so you're going with the headcanon that his character is a wrestler too? I thought it was only one.
Well, the fact that he is never named in the movie, I'm going to just assume it was Roddy Piper playing himself.
Fair enough.
Doesn't someone call him Kane at one point?
He's credited as Nada.
Nada, okay.
Or John Nada or something like that in the script.
Yeah, which is like, by definition is nothing.
Nothing or nobody, yeah.
Yeah.
The opposite of John Everyman.
John Smith.
Here's the... he just... Gilbert just made a point. I hope that's just a coincidence, because I'd hate to think that I was too dumb to catch that subtlety.
What's that?
He's not the John Everyman. He's John Nada.
Oh.
He's John Nothing.
Because no backstory where he came from. You would think it's like, I was in the military for X amount of years. Now I just want to lay back.
Yeah, but he doesn't go well at the job bank, but he does walk out and walk right by the people that are trying to make the pile driver music video.
I wrote that too. Where's Billy Graham?
Yeah, where's Coco holding the girder there?
Yeah.
That's all I know for construction terms.
He's trying to get a gig, and the foreman tells him, "Oh, you can't. It's a union gig." Mm-hmm. And so he looks around and he notices that a lot of the guys who are working the gig are Hispanic. Now, I feel that it's a little racial profiling on John Nada's part, but because if we're talking California, they have a large Hispanic population.
Yeah,
it's perfectly reasonable these men are employed and with the union.
And it's funny because I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, because he kind of smirks and goes, "Oh, I'd like to talk to the shop steward."
Yeah.
Which leads him to getting a job, because he doesn't want anybody making waves with the union about this job site hiring non-unionized illegals.
Wow, I totally missed that casual racism.
It was a lot more casual back then, too.
That's true.
I think now you have to wear, like, pressed slacks and a button-up to be like that.
If your racism is going to go out to a party, make sure it dresses up.
Yeah, there has to be a collar on that shirt.
That's right. That'll make everything okay, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is on this job site that he meets a very young-looking Keith David.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I guess he would have worked with Carpenter before this on The Thing.
Yep.
So even younger. That was like 6 years before this.
Apparently wrote the role for Keith David himself.
Oh, intriguing.
He plays Kata.
There's one point, and the dialogue in this movie can sometimes be infuriating.
What?
Because I actually have a note. Are they speaking words? Because there's
instead of exposition of their character.
Well, it's not even that. It's like some of the stuff they say, it's like, yeah, these are words, but the order they're putting them in don't make sense to my brain.
I would chalk a little bit of it up to Roddy's inexperience as an actor. I mean, he has charisma, but he's definitely, I'll just say he has charisma.
There's several times where I was like, John Carpenter wrote that. And other times where I was like, they just let Roddy Piper do whatever he wanted that day.
Including probably the most iconic line probably in the movie.
Probably.
Roddy put John in the sleeper hold in the morning of the shoot.
Well, you know.
Good night, Irene. I don't know why I turned into Gilbert Godfrey there, kind of.
Well, you know
He's
what?
the new Roddy Piper.
Yeah, you walk a fine line when you're doing your Roddy Piper, Gilbert Godfrey impressions. Especially if you're doing
Piper's Pit.
If you're doing a really amped up Roddy Piper, you can get. It's like when you're trying to do a Christopher Walken impression and it turns into a John Travolta impression.
That's true, or vice versa.
It's the attack and how you do it.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Wow, I was in The Fanatic.
And I was like, whoa, I'm in The Fanatic. So, anyhow. After work is done for the day, Keith David tells Roddy Piper, if you're looking for a place to stay, I know a place over, I can't remember where it was at. I think he took he took Vine over to Vincente. He took a left down because they're from California.
Yeah. And then you end up at the homeless village.
And he got there, and they were like, "What are you doing here?" Stuart. This is where things kind of like, is this supposed to be apocalyptic for me? Because there's a lot of things about that shanty town that feel very after some sort of crash or fall. Because people are living there's easy chairs, fairly nice looking easy chairs outside. People are watching TV hooked up to electricity and cable outside.
Yeah, I mean their situation, despite it being outside, it's not that bad.
No.
They get meals, they have entertainment, they have nice comfortable chairs.
Oh, we failed to mention the blind street preacher from earlier.
Oh yeah,
he's going to factor in here in a little bit, so we can't run past that.
One of the most inexplicable scenes with him later.
Yeah. While the folks are sitting around watching TV, there's a very Max Headroom style hack on the channel that they're watching, where there's a guy who's spouting off his conspiracy theories about aliens and people being sheep and whatnot.
Live action version of Dr. Marvin Monroe.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Hiya!
The aliens are taking over!
Yeah, and there's a couple of times where this happens, and during one of the scenes, Roddy's watching or listening to the TV, and he happens to notice the blind street preacher is just lip syncing.
Yeah, to the radio.
Yeah, that I didn't understand that.
I didn't get that either.
No, because I was like, oh, see, when I watched this for the podcast, I hadn't seen this in quite a while.
Like 5 years or so?
Yeah, like quite a few years, yeah. And I was like, oh, is the twist that he's like channeling through that guy? Like, it's like, oh, I didn't remember that part. Nope, he just knows exactly what he's gonna say.
Yep.
At the same, amazing timing for a blind man, I'm just gonna say.
Oh yeah, it's spot on. And it's one of those things where it's like, I'm not sure what's going on here. That's kind of a weird choice for this movie, which again leads me to say this movie is perfect for our show.
It's almost feels like something that was like a part of a bigger idea, and then they just left like that one shot still in the movie.
And yeah, they dropped it or something.
And then it's like, okay, an oddity. Let's just move on, I guess.
It wasn't Golga or Luna Vachon.
Was it Kurgan?
Possibly.
Or
and
Giant.
We
Giant
got
Silva.
that wrestling reference in.
Boom! Wow.
So hard to do.
I was gonna say if it didn't happen in this episode. Also, thank you, Ryan, for being the only person in probably 20 years to say Giant Silva.
So this is where Roddy puts on his detective cap and starts detecting. And he kind of starts to notice there's a lot of activity at the Episcopal Church across the way.
Yep.
And heads on over to check it out. And he finds some sweet Ray-Bans. So automatically he thinks, okay, they're making counterfeit sunglasses. There's graffiti scrawled on it says, "They live, we sleep."
There's a dick hole in the wall a la Porky's.
Right? Good thing he didn't get one in the eye.
Yeah.
So he can hear the conversation that's happening upstairs about these guys talking about shipping out product and getting it on the streets. So automatically you can tell he thinks they're into the drugs. Mm-hmm. And but that's not the case.
No, we are being thrown for a loop. We should mention too. I don't know if Ryan said this after we went on the air or before, but the first 30 minutes of this movie are kind of meandering.
Mm-hmm. Just a bit.
Like, it's kind of a sluggish pace.
That sometimes maybe they could just like chop off this to explore this character differently. Like your own writer in your mind as you're watching the movie, that kind of thing. Yeah,
I mean, I get the idea of build up, but it does take a little while to get to where it's going.
Yeah. So what happens next? I have there's a bit here where Keith David says the line, "I'm walking a white line here, man."
Yeah.
And Roddy Piper replies with, it's the most dangerous place to drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's walking it.
He's
That's the part where the cars aren't supposed to drive. I mean, it's not the safest part of the road.
That would
but
be a Roddy Piper improv.
Yeah, it would have to be.
Yeah, because Keith David is like, no, I ain't getting caught up in this. Like, I've got a job, I've got food, I'm not messing this up, I'm not investigating anyone.
Yeah.
I don't want to be part of the plot whatsoever. I don't want to die.
Yeah, leave me out of the movie.
And okay, apparently the LA Police Department has a department, at least in this universe, that is the Scientific Investigation Unit, also known as forensics. People usually just call them forensics.
The SIU, yeah.
Yeah. So they show up and they start busting heads, and they're taking the whole Occupy Wall Street, clearing out of the encampment and whatnot.
Yeah, it's a pretty brutal, like, clearing out an assault. But I do have to ask, I mean, I'm surprised they didn't take the Bad Boys 2 approach. First you send in the cats and iguanas.
Right.
Then you attack.
Well, they didn't have to stir up motion detectors.
Right. Well, I'm surprised because their digs were pretty good.
Yeah. So while this is happening, the folks who were in charge of making these sweet Ray-Bans that you can, see these aliens with, they start booking it, and a few of them get captured or roughed up, including the blind preacher, who starts quoting scripture, and he said, "I shall not fear the rod and the staff," and then the cops just rodded the staff right the hell out of him.
Yeah, it is nice to see kind of an antiquated idea like this, though, because like I like that. It's good that stuff like this never happens anymore, right, guys?
No.
Yeah, no, never. No.
It's just great that we have equality across the board with classes and race.
What a time capsule.
Yeah, nope. Nobody has to take a knee at football games to protest that sort of thing.
Nothing like that ever happens.
Moving on. Roddy Piper saves a kid. I hope his name was Cat.
His name was what?
Cat. So he could literally save the cat.
Oh, yes.
He's the hero.
Right.
No, it's not quite a Mr. Nanny moment, but it's pretty close.
But in the meantime, while doing that, he also comes into possession of a whole box full of these totally sweet sunglasses. Mm-hmm. And while he's on the run from the cops, takes a pair and he keeps them with him, but he decides, I'm going to hide these for safety. Where, pray tell, did he hide these sunglasses, fellas?
Where did he put them? Did he put them on his pants?
It was in the trash.
In a trash can.
Oh, right.
Because, they don't collect those sort of things.
Yeah, I think the idea, though, at first is he's like, oh, these are just sunglasses, like they're not anything special, because he doesn't know what they do at the time, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, he does, he stashes them in a place where they will be taken away eventually.
And so these sunglasses, when you put them on, they let you see a different version of the same matte painting you're looking at.
Oh, I thought they just make you see hipster posters everywhere.
You see these hipster, but they're matte paintings of hipster posters.
Yeah,
and then when you put them on, you see another matte painting, but in place of the hipster posters, it says things like obey, consume, reproduce.
Oh, black and white, man. You gotta get it, man?
Yeah, do you get it?
I do like the one that says marry and reproduce. That was my favorite one.
To which I replied, or noted, come on everything? I fail to believe that people, in and of themselves, wouldn't be creating and putting out their own ads without any of the subliminal messages.
That is kind of crazy. It's even on the money.
Yeah. And then one of the money is like, this is your God. Yeah.
Yeah, and he sees some people that are fine, and some people look like hideous skeleton things.
Yes,
which I like the makeup a lot.
Oh, they did a really good job with that because a part of it is prosthetics, and others just like suit, and another part is actual makeup. You get some of the better lines when you're watching it, like "Let TV teach you," which is what they want because they live while we sleep. I did notice that whenever he put the sunglasses on, everybody who is an alien has just the worst fake hair. And so I had to note Donald Trump is their Invader Zim.
Oh, shit! So wait, what you're suggesting is that Trump is masterminding a They Live scenario right now?
No, what I'm saying is that he's part of it. Okay. And through sheer luck and bumbling has managed to fail upward enough to gain the highest office in the land. Initially, he was sent away to rot away on reality TV out of the ways of people because he was too dumb. Like Invader Zim was. They sent him away from the planet because he was like a nuisance that they didn't want to deal with anymore.
This is a great pitch for a sequel.
So it's that Breitbart guy that's running things.
I guess.
Also, yeah, a good idea, Ryan. John Carpenter, get on it.
John Carpenter's Invader Zim.
There we go. He's. I'm sure he wants nothing to do with making movies anymore, but please. Wouldn't it be a great twist if, like, it turned out that there weren't aliens and Piper was just discriminating against people that had facial deformities?
Oh,
He just really hated yuppies.
No, the tagline of the movie, no fuggos. Sorry, Sam. So, they really start exploring the space with what can be done with these sunglasses right here. Because there are, like, surveillance spots flying around.
Yeah.
How do they hide that?
I mean, yeah, because I'll take it that, like, they can disguise themselves as humans, but they also have, like, invisible things too.
Yes.
Like,
there's these like almost like they look like Cambot from Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah, and they're just everywhere.
And that's not the most ridiculous part. The most ridiculous part is when Roddy Piper's looking around, and he happens to notice that there are invisible loudspeakers at the tops of traffic lights. Now, these are sunglasses. They go on your eyes.
Right?
There's no audio component to them.
Okay.
They are not hearing aids in any way, shape, or form.
Okay.
Thanks to these sunglasses that go on his eyes to help him see things, he can hear the messages being put out by these loudspeakers.
What the fuck was that?
Right?
That was so... Yeah, that took me back a little bit.
Yeah. There's another fun line in this. Someone says it's morning in America, which was one of the things that Reagan ran with. It was in, like, a lot of his election campaign stuff. Being the resurgence of America and greatness, get out there and contribute to the economy and buy. So I thought it was really funny that they actually mentioned that as some of the lines in the movie.
Yeah, I feel like John Carpenter didn't vote for Reagan.
No, I don't feel he did either. And this is where Roddy's character takes a sharp left turn.
Yeah, it's so jarring.
Because he was really kind of subdued and low-key, wanting to fly under the radar.
There's our boy Gilbert.
Yeah.
Very, very subdued.
Yeah. And then not so much.
Yeah, and he just starts...
Go ahead.
He just starts body shaming people.
He just starts dealing on, like, the aliens, like this old lady alien who's supposed to be, like, this rich doweress, and he's like, your face looks like cheese dip that was 1957 that was left out too long or something like that.
Well, this is a fine how do you do.
The formaldehyde face one was actually the one that stuck with me the most.
Also, Roddy Piper, don't give up your position so easily.
Yeah.
Right?
Look, there's aliens over there.
Right.
Yeah. It's like he pulls a real Patrick Swayze here. Like, stop giving up your position of advantage over everything.
All it does two things. One, it makes the people that you want to listen think you're a goddamn lunatic. And two, lets the people that you're trying to dime out on know that you can see them.
As they go talking their Rolex watches.
Also, can nobody else see them talking into their watches?
I don't think that's a thing. I think that's just like they're gonna Men in Black those people if that's the case.
Yeah, because I'm like, okay, but it would still be weird if to see a bunch of people just look at their watches and be like, he knows.
Yeah, he white Caucasian male
Wearing glasses.
Yeah,
That's why we all have Fitbits now.
It's all coming true, man. Why should we diss in this movie?
You know what? Smartwatches. Just gonna say.
yeah, they knew.
No, they live. They live.
While we sleep.
I wrote the title down wrong.
I also have the possible sequels stuck in my mind. They learn.
And they love.
They love. Yep.
they like.
They share.
So after all this, he books it out of the bodega that he was in, where he's foolishly given up his advantage, and then he's accosted by some police officers who
And
are
he
also aliens.
Murders them.
After
You look
delivering
exactly to us. You are to you.
after delivering a fantastic clothesline.
That was
Yes.
his first physicality in the movie. Is a clothesline.
Yeah.
That's why he's a wrestler. His backstory is a wrestler.
Yeah. So basically, after we've meandered through the first portion of this movie and him finding out what's going on, this movie now takes a hard shift and becomes Falling Down meets Alien Nation.
Yeah.
The movie or the TV show?
The movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's almost like halfway through or like 30 minutes into production, somebody was like, hey, John, I dare you to make the rest of the movie just a total crazy B movie. And he was like, done.
Done. Challenge accepted.
I wonder if it's in the original short story too. A 7-minute long scene of fighting.
Oh,
7 minutes of the 8-minute short story, just the fight scene.
yeah. After straight murdering two cops, regardless of the fact that they're aliens and he was doing it to help save humanity.
Yeah, regardless of that. And if somebody saw him do that, whether they're an alien or a human, they're going to be like, holy shit, it's a fucking murderer.
And that murderer then proceeds to take their service weapons and the shotgun in their police cruiser.
And goes into a bank.
Which is what you do when you're heavily armed, right?
Yeah. But he does say the greatest line in cinema history.
Oh, but it is not remembered the same way as everybody else says it.
Okay.
But if you have a clip, please do play it right here.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
That's how it was delivered. It wasn't some big bravado, shouty, cutting a promo thing.
Yeah, like you're hanging out with friends, talking about movies while drinking, and people are just like, oh yeah, that bubblegum line.
Come to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
And then it ends with,
nope.
yeah!
Well, can you imagine that was improv, that whole line?
Yes, I can imagine that. Yeah. I can 100% imagine
Oh, yeah,
that.
confirmed. I'm pretty sure confirmed that it was improv.
Yeah. So he murders a security guard.
And several other people in the
and
bank.
a few other aliens looking like people.
Which to other people just looks like he murdered a bunch of women and
Yeah.
just random middle-aged dudes.
This is great. Somebody's trying to dime him out with their watch, and he says, "Mama don't like tattletales." So is he Mama?
Yeah.
I mean,
He's Big Mama, and this is his house.
Oh, okay, fair. That makes sense. No, it doesn't. Not at all. And it's at this point where I wrote, you could tell Carpenter's lines from Piper's ad-libs.
Oh, it's night and day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, I mean, 1988, Roddy Piper was like pretty like hot shit, right?
For the most
In
part.
terms of the world of wrestling.
Yes, he
Like
was.
everyone knew who he was.
It was. Him and Andre were like the number one heels at the time.
Yeah. Well, 88 he had already turned face because that was during the time where he was away.
He
for
was
a couple
leaving.
years.
Yeah, it was after WrestleMania 3. That's where John Carpenter met him.
Oh,
Said,
yes.
Like, life had... It's like all over Roddy Piper's face.
Oh.
And I think it's like he was in that WrestleMania 3 match with Adrian Adonis
Yeah.
and Beefcake. What if Carpenter went to one of those two and had that same opinion?
Oh, jeez.
Adrian Adonis in this movie.
I'm pretty sure Beefcake would have just been like, just give it to Hogan.
Yeah, probably.
He's my
'Cause
best
he-
friend, Hulk Hogan.
yeah.
Hey guys,
Yeah,
have you met my best friend? His name is Hulk Hogan. He's my best friend. We hang out all the time.
He is the Chester of that pairing, that's for sure. We're buddies, ain't we, Spike? Ain't we?
Yeah, sure, brother.
One of the few times I've heard that someone stopped being friends with someone because they kept saying that they're friends.
So, Roddy, he's got to make his getaway, right? Because he has shot up a bank and killed 2 police officers as well as several civilians.
Yeah, he might be wanted.
He might be. So he's got to make a getaway. And who's there to carjack out of plot convenience? None other than Evil Lynn herself, Meg Foster, ladies and gentlemen.
Only 1 year after Masters of the Universe.
Yep. I feel she was more animated in that than she was in this.
I just feel like they don't really give her a lot to do in this.
No, but I mean, her kind of non-reaction, or maybe under-reaction.
Like a Shang Yun from Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she's like, oh, don't hurt me or do anything. I'm being carjacked.
Oh, no, everything's okay.
right.
Wait, Ryan, are you saying that Evil Lynn showed up for this audition in a Catwoman suit?
No, she obviously showed up in her Evil Lynn outfit.
I hope so.
That's why Carpenter was like, hire her.
Yeah, he didn't
She
go...
gets it. She gets it.
A blandness.
They take her vehicle to her place because, man, the exchange between the two of them while they're driving, where she's like, he asks her, are you married? And she hastily answers yes. And he said, please don't lie to me. Like this exchange is Carpenter. It's pure Carpenter. Because the dialogue is kind of subdued.
Yeah.
The delivery is good, so that means John Carpenter was awake when it happened.
Well, yeah,
And-
it's so wild that you can tell, like, when he just goes off the rails.
Yeah, yeah.
Or doing rails.
Well, possibly that too.
Yeah, I have no doubt in my mind. R.I.P., but I mean, come on.
Right. It was the 80s, and he was into professional wrestling, so.
Exactly.
Um,
Oh, and
they... Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. I was just going to mention that when they go to her home, what was up with the neighbor that never really came back into it?
Oh, yeah, that was weird. Were
Just
they...
to say, like, hey, Holly, it's
It was
a
a
character's
gay
name.
It was a gay couple, right?
that's
I'm
what I
guessing,
got.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what kind of subtle thing are we trying to say here? I don't really understand it.
And one of them seemed a little catty. I'm not just going to put that there.
Well, and I thought what was going to happen was they were going to be the ones to like report it.
Yeah.
But it never really factors into anything. No. Maybe John Carpenter's like, yeah, fighting against stereotypes.
I wonder if there's like a 4-hour cut of this movie.
Oh, God.
Where all of these things are explored.
I hope so.
20-minute long fight scene, you say?
So they go into her place, and she like starts antagonizing him. Mm-hmm. He's your armed hostage taker. You don't antagonize somebody who is not only armed, taken you hostage, but has also said things that might make you think, he's unstable.
I know this isn't the first time you guys watched this, like, for the podcast or whatever, but did you guys think when you first saw this that, like, the twist might have been, because he sees her face, like, he sees her regular face, but that she's also somehow also an alien, just because of her non-reactions and everything?
Well, not necessarily that she was an alien, but I did, like, as we said, I don't know, earlier, she's got a very, she's a villain
Yeah.
feel to her. So, I mean, like I said earlier about, like, oh, come on, it's on everything. There's no way. But there's also the idea that people are in the mix on this too. Yeah. So I was like, she's probably going to double cross him.
Yep. And Roddy Piper has double-crossed enough people that he shouldn't fall for it.
Right, he should have saw it coming a mile away.
Yeah.
And to the point where we don't have to wait too long. Now, I get it. The way it's presented here is done as almost like it's for self-defense.
Yeah.
But she throws him out a window.
Yeah, like, surprise later that he did not die.
Right?
Like, it's not even just like...
a tumble.
Yeah, throws him, like, through the glass, down the hill, calls the police, and like, when she's calling the police, I mean, that's when I'm like, yeah, she's totally the villain, because she's just like, it's almost like she's calling someone that she already knows, because she's like, yes, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know if we're supposed to already know. Like,
I don't think we are.
Because it's almost too obvious at that point when she makes the phone call.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And so... after that, I mean, after all this has happened, he is now a wanted criminal. His face is on the TV, as they say.
Using his old 1986 WWF promo picture.
Right.
Yes, looks nothing like him. He currently does, yeah.
They're talking about him all over the place. Oh, what do you do? Well, let's go back to the work site.
I'm going to blend right in.
I'm going to blend right in, and I'm going to try to convince that guy that I met for a day...
who doesn't want to be a part of my life,
to join forces with me.
Yeah, my good buddy Keith David.
Right.
Can't we all say that, though?
To which Keith David tries to shoo him away, just short of going, go on, scat, get out of here. Go, get.
It's a regular John Lithgow, Harry and the Hendersons moment.
Yes.
He slaps Piper across the face.
I don't want you here.
Get out of here! Can't you see we don't want you anymore? Why can't you go back where you came from? Leave us alone!
Single tear comes down his cheek.
Then he straps on, like, footprints he has made of casts of Roddy Piper to throw off the authorities, and stomps through the forests of California, making his Roddy Piper calls.
Yes. We're coming up with so many good movie ideas.
So Roddy goes back. He figures, I need to prove this. So he goes back to where he put the fucking glasses in the garbage. And
what do you know? It's garbage day.
yeah,
Garbage day!
when he opens it, and he's like surprised that they're not there, and I'm like, yeah, it's the garbage. It's the municipal garbage. They pick it up and take it to landfills. It's all part of big garbage.
Yeah, they're in on it.
Right.
Sanitation engineering.
Yes. So he climbs into the back of the trash can.
Yeah.
Pretty clean looking, too, for the 80s in LA. Just damn boxes all over the place.
Yeah. The 80s in Los Angeles, not a time where I would just blindly dive into the dumpster.
Yeah. You get a handful of hypodermics doing that.
Yeah,
Just be
no,
careful.
thank you.
You can just prick yourself with the antidote eventually.
Oh, that's true. Oh, these cancel out.
So while he's rooting around in the back of the garbage truck looking for the glasses, why did the garbage truck lift the back?
So we can say, oh, no!
Why did they dump the garbage back onto the ground? Yeah.
In the middle of the fucking alley.
Because he was trying to open it up as a distraction to get in.
And then start driving away. Were there no sensors on this thing?
So it clearly picks up the garbage, and then just dumps it on the ground and drives off.
Yeah.
Like garbage trucks do.
Yeah.
Budget
Constantly.
sparks fly.
Yeah.
Budget cuts, guys. Budget cuts.
Yeah, we have enough money for you to pick it up. We just don't have enough money for you to drive it to the landfill. So just throw it in the back out of some sort of sense of custom and then dump it all in the immediately same place where you picked it up.
You gotta clock those hours, guys.
Right. It's a union thing.
Yeah. Right. This follows the greatest scene in cinema history.
Oh my god.
It's interesting to watch because it's been so memeified. Like this in the bubblegum line.
Yeah.
Rewatching it, I think the best part was like right towards the end, and it was just a little bit. I don't know if it was improv or just like an outtake. That laugh that Piper gives after Keith David puts the bottle in his car after Piper put a 2x4 in Keith David's car.
Yeah.
Like that exchange.
Yeah.
Also, Keith David has a car?
Yes.
Wasn't he just like
He was
homeless
just
like
there to
2
give him a
minutes
week's
ago?
wage.
He was. In fact, when we first meet him, they walk to the shanty town.
Yeah. I don't understand that. Like,
I live here, but I'm not keeping my car here.
I guess he's been saving his paychecks.
I guess. But yes, this is just one of the most infamous fight scenes in movie history.
Yeah, Roddy Piper's trying to get him to put the glasses on so he can prove to him, and Keith David's like, no, fuck off, you crazy psycho.
And you know what? Clearly, Keith David has not dealt with lunatics. When they ask you to do something simple, just do it.
Just put the glasses on and humor
Put the
him.
glasses on and
Maybe
be
just
done
prove
with
him wrong.
Right.
Yeah. But there's some pretty good. I wrote down a couple of good wrestling maneuvers here.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's a hell of a springboard belly to back suplex.
A nice
And he-
gourd buster.
Yeah, he gives him a gut wrench at one point.
Yep.
But yeah, it's I believe it is legitimately 6 minutes long.
Yeah, and I think Carpenter has said, I think I fell asleep while we were filming that.
Keep it all in.
Yeah, just keep it all. That's the Brent rule of filmmaking. Just leave it all in. Leave it all in.
Fuck it.
I've heard it was supposed to be an homage to a John Wayne movie, The Quiet Man, where he has that long fight in Ireland.
Yeah, but that movie, that fight scene in that movie serves a plot purpose. Because you've gone the entire movie where he is refusing to get into a fight with anybody.
Yeah.
He's a retired boxer. He doesn't want to, he's hung up the gloves. He doesn't want to ever fight again. And he's kind of made to. And that's why the fight goes on as long as it does, because you've been waiting for that fight the entire movie.
Yeah.
I also heard the wild story behind this is that they start off kind of like staging their fight scene. Eventually, they get a little too stiff with each other, and then it just turned into a real fight for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then by the end of it, they were just kind of like laughing it off. But yeah, for some of these punches are like real, and some of the blood is real.
Yeah. I will say this. Why did he expect some sort of Marcus of Queensberry rules in this fight? Because at one point, Roddy Piper tries to send old Keith David to Dick Kick City.
Yeah.
And says, "You dirty motherfucker. It's a street fight."
But eventually Keith David gets in and he starts kneeing him into the groin at the end.
Yep.
Oh, he's just like crashing down with knees, like repeated knees to the crotch.
And what I really want to know is, why wasn't this booked for SummerSlam instead of
Right?
Hogan versus Zeus? I would have paid a ticket to see Roddy Piper fight Keith David in a WWF ring.
Over
know what?
sunglasses.
They sunglasses on a pole, bro.
He wasn't working for the company then.
That's how he was inspired. Wait, Keith David could have just taken the Zeus gimmick.
No.
Oh, they would have been so good.
He's better than that. Although I wouldn't have put it past them to use his character's name as the wrestler name. Like they did for Zeus.
Yeah.
Because Hulk Hogan versus
Tiny Lister.
Tiny Lister doesn't, or even Tom Lister doesn't hold up.
It's about as intimidating as Matthew McConaughey's name being Walter.
Right.
In the Dark Tower.
The Dark Tower. Though, the Dark Man. Who's that? Walter.
It's like someone's grandfather.
Yeah. So this fight scene, it lasts for the better part of a decade.
Uh-huh.
And one of the parting shots Gilbert mentioned earlier, Roddy Piper picks up a 2x4 and takes a swing, a la Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Misses Keith David and shatters the back window of his car and goes, "Oh man, I'm really sorry about that." Keith David grabs a beer bottle and goes to break it, so he's gonna like make an impromptu knife to fight him with, but it breaks so cleanly that there's no jagged portion, and Roddy Piper laughs at it. Gilbert says he thinks it was an outtake that was left in. I think it fits this movie just perfect if that was the legit reaction
to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think both theories hold weight.
Yeah.
So he finally convinces him, right? He's like, he finally puts the glasses on Keith David, and he's like, "Oh shit, you were right. We could have avoided this entire fight where we just kicked each other's asses."
Ow. Ow.
He said, yeah, something along the lines of life's a bitch and it's back in heat.
That makes it all better.
Roddy Piper does mention something later, so they're kind of having like a heart-to-heart later, and Piper says something about the power and the glory, and I was like, what does Paul Roma and Hercules have to do with this?
They're going to come save the day.
I actually have Christ through a whooping. Found Christ through a whooping.
That's a great line.
There you go.
And yeah, so what does it happen? So they're kind of holed up at this point, right? And they meet up with one of the dudes from earlier organizing like the church people.
Yes, and that's where we kind of he spells it all out.
Yeah.
About how the aliens are using, consumerism and wastefulness and greed to terraform our planet to match their planet.
And I wrote down, this is what the people who believe in like lizard people actually believe.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah, this is a documentary.
Shot through their eyes.
Their sunglasses.
Because they live while we sleep.
Oh shit, it's all coming together.
All right, that's why we all have smartwatches.
I'm going to carefully glance around every corner now today. But yeah, and I think this is when they go to this big meeting of all the like freedom fighters, and we find out they've made contact lenses, and I wrote down, I would die.
Because the technology to be able to hear things would really mess up your eyes, I think.
Yeah.
So you can hear through your eyes with these things.
You're so loud, my eyes are bleeding.
Now I'm one of them.
Yeah. One of us. All
right, let's not handle that movie at another date.
Freaks. That's a good. I don't know if we. That's a legitimate great movie.
Why don't you revisit it?
Yeah, it is. I guess maybe. All right, anyway, moving on.
Okay.
At this meeting, Meg Foster shows up.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, okay, Evil Lynn's here to tell the aliens that they're there.
Yeah.
And her, oh yeah, and how did you like her reaction to seeing that Piper was okay?
I more over the why Roddy Piper would even trust her to begin with, because she tried to kill him.
Mm-hmm. In self-defense.
And she has no problem whatsoever about being there with the person who hijacked her.
Yep. Yeah.
But the meeting is short-lived because I don't know if it was the Scientific Investigation Unit again.
Could have been the SIU.
But the authorities show up and... yeah, exactly. They show up and start raiding the place. To which I wrote, man, I want this on the rails shooter. Like, even if it's just a
this
mini
whole
game,
last act,
like a $5 game on the PSN store. I would love to play that.
It could have been a Sega CD game.
There you go.
Yeah, there could have been. It could have been like just as good as that ET game.
Yeah.
They Live, where you just keep falling into a pit.
And was this the one? Yes, where they managed to get a watch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's broken.
Yeah, because they're being shot at, and they have one of the watches, and he it's like freaking out, but it makes like a little tunnel for them to jump into.
Yeah, a little warp zone.
Yeah, well, exactly. They got the magic, the flute.
Right.
And they jump in and end up in the hallway from the movie Us.
Yes! Thank you! Thank you! I have that! The Us tunnels.
Yeah. Also, it's not that far-fetched to think that Jordan Peele wouldn't have been inspired by this.
Oh, not in the least, no.
Which is pretty cool, yeah.
I did find it fun that the device that they're using, that the aliens are using to try to find them, is a PKE meter from Ghostbusters.
Yeah. I wrote that down too.
Bill Murray just shows up with a bunch of sunglasses for everyone.
Guys, just go ahead and take these guys. Yeah, I got this going for me. They're pretty nice sunglasses. Come see Groundhog Day. Yeah.
Whoa, there's so much going on there. So he's his character from Caddyshack as but in the Ghostbusters, but also playing himself,
promoting Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
He's cosplaying as Peter Venkman.
Oh shit! I just expected him to show and be like, let's show this bitch how we do things downtown.
And it's at this point where the drunkard drifter from before, sitting in the easy chair watching the TV at the shanty town, shows up coiffed and in a suit, revealing that he is sold out to the aliens.
Is that
when
who
did that
that
happen? Yes.
I thought it was the construction boss.
No.
There's a shot of him when they got raided in Shantytown being backed up. I'm gonna guess like off camera it's just like, I'll do whatever you say. And just go from there.
But here's the thing. Why would that happen though? Like, if he still thinks they're cops and goes, I'll do whatever you say, they just arrest him and release him without charges. Yeah. He goes back to his shanty town, and they don't have to give him a 3-piece suit or the teleporting watch.
They needed a rube to dress up in a tuxedo to explain things about aliens.
Good use of the word rube.
It does make me think that, like, I think that's what happened with Donald Trump.
Oh my God! Because he declared bankruptcy in the 80s after divorcing Ivana. He was captured by the nuclear skeleton aliens and promised a better life if he was on board with their agenda.
That explains WrestleMania 4 and 5 being at the Trump Plaza.
And that's why he's such a cartoonish evil rich guy.
Right. And that's why all the gold, that's meant to reflect the beams, so you can't tell the people that he's surrounding himself with are skeleton aliens.
Oh, shit.
We're breaking this down.
I don't know if I can post this one.
Yeah, the Illuminati will definitely come and get us.
So, yeah, and at this point, yeah, the guy is all gussied up, and they're just rampaging through the TV studio, because that's where they're at right now. Mm-hmm. And they're just like shooting people and
oh, we do get to find out before all that happens is that they apparently have a Star Trek airport.
Oh yeah, right. That like the thing that just like zooms them to the planet, which they can see in plain sight.
Yeah.
Like it's huge. It's like they're going to the moon.
Yeah.
But it's only like on the basement or like mid-level below the station.
I'm guessing it's a video feed.
Okay.
I just think it's funny. Yeah, when they go into the thing, you just see it like beam of light quickly going over to the planet. That was kind of cool.
Yeah. That's how fast it moves. Better than Spirit Airlines. Oh shit! They're our new sponsor.
Oh, Nathan!
I botched the whole thing, didn't I?
Well, I guess we can't read this copy from Maxim either now.
Oh well, moving on.
Yeah, they're looking for Evil Lynn, right? Like, because Piper's like, because Evil Lynn, we kind of glazed over it, but she had like a tip that where they were stationed, like the central hub that
because
messes
she
with the
worked
signals.
she worked at the cable station where the signal was coming from.
Yeah, that like basically makes everyone see the aliens as normal people. Mm-hmm. And yeah, she's like, oh, I know where it is. We can like destroy it and stuff. Or no, she actually says, no, the TV studio was a no-go, pretending that that's not where it is.
Saying that the signal from the studio was clean.
Yeah, it's clean.
But they must be piggybacking off it or infiltrating it somehow.
Yeah. And they find Evelyn. And again, when they find her, she looks none concerned about anything.
No.
She's like,
they storm the newscast after shooting, they shoot 2 security guards.
yeah.
And then the drunken hobo uses his teleporting watch to get away.
That's the greatest sentence you've ever said.
Yep. Again, this is why this movie is perfect for our show.
The drunken hobo uses his teleporting watch.
Right? Thank you. Validation. So why do I have a note here that says, so they are the internet?
Qua?
I don't know either.
Well,
Again.
that's Nathan's random note of the week.
There we go.
Let's figure out the context.
But they do. They finally start to make their way up to the roof, and that's where Evelyn finally does her heel turn.
That's a double cross.
And poor Keith David.
Yeah. He technically killed off screen.
Yeah. Well, we don't see like the impact of the kill.
Yeah.
Just the gun to the temple.
Yeah.
Yeah, and his like shocked reaction for like a millisecond, and then boom.
Jalapeno. You see, that was a line he said in Gargoyles.
That would have been quite a reaction.
Solid reference.
Jalapeno, I've been shot by
Jalapeno.
Evil Lynn.
Goliath was killed by Evil Lynn?
Jesus
My
Christ.
fanfic come to life.
Or Spawn was killed by Evil Lynn. I mean,
Well, that's how Al Simmons was made.
yeah.
Michael J. White was in this movie? Oh, I forgot that we watched Spawn.
So we head to the roof. This is where the transmission is coming from, and they're looking to destroy the satellite
Of
Roddy. Oh, exactly. Because you got to get Joel down somehow.
Yeah,
Right?
sorry.
So they didn't know about the Hamdingers at this point, so...
That's what Forrester's doing. He's just sending out aliens to take over Earth.
Yep. Oh, he's calling us right now.
shit,
Just
Dr.
give me
He's gonna send us a
second,
bad
I'll get
movie
that.
after this.
Dr. Forrester, it's good to hear from you. It's been a while, yeah. How's Frank? That rapscallion. Yeah, it's good you brought him back to life. I see King is doing really well. Oh, it was canceled. Oh, it's too bad. That's too bad. Look. Okay, well, I'm gonna get past that. Was this your idea? Sending out aliens to take over? No, it wasn't. Oh, bad movies, right? Drive humanity insane. Oh yeah, well, that's right. Well, it's good that you recognized that their plan was slightly better.
I blame you for the demons of Ludlow.
He was unaware of that, he's saying, and had he known, he would have used that, because that probably would have done the job. Look, Clayton, it's been great talking to you, pal, but we got to get back to the podcast, okay? All right, best of Pearl. Okay, thanks, bye. Hey, nice guy, nice guy.
Absolutely.
I wonder how Bobo's doing.
I'd have to ask Pearl about that.
Okay, well, we'll just wait till the phone rings again.
Well, if I'm ever talking to her, I'll let you know. So
the ending.
the ending. They do. The satellite does get destroyed because
Piper shoots it with a gun.
A tiny
shoots it
gun,
with
by the way.
Yeah, after he shoots Meg Foster, and then shoots the satellite, and he flips off the cops one last time.
Because he basically sacrifices himself, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Because he's there for the explosion, and he gets shot too, I think.
Yes, because that the him flipping off the cops is like his final act of defiance.
Yeah. And I love what follows this.
Oh yes, Gloria, you look like shit.
And now everyone can see the aliens in clear sight, and we get the most like gratuitous final shot with nudity.
Well, before that, there is another cut to a television show where somebody's talking about
George Romero and John Carpenter.
They
need more restraint.
The depravity of modern cinema.
Oh, and apparently that's John Carpenter's swipe at Siskel and Ebert.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. They he admitted that was his reference to them.
Well, they didn't care for this one either. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not as obvious as like Mayor Ebert and Godzilla just wanting food, but.
And then, of course, the gratuitous boobies at the end.
Yeah, rare.
All the plot holes before, but the gratuitous boobies now, Steve. And when what's wrong, baby?
That's how you end a movie.
I also think it's probably the only time I've ever seen a movie where there was just like nudity just for the like right at the very end, but not any other time before that.
Right. He's tacked on nudity.
Yeah, he's like, got that R.
I think they had that R several times during the fight scene.
Oh yeah, and with the cursing and stuff.
Dirty motherfucker.
Oh, there were lots of F-bombs.
They made that reference, I remember on South Park when Jimmy and Timmy had their fight. Yeah.
Oh, the what was I'm just quoting the name of the episode. It was called
Context
Cripple Fight,
again,
right?
What it was called?
The Cripple Fight, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Jimmy actually says to Timmy, "You dirty motherfucker."
So, is anyone else surprised that? I mean, again, we're not watching this for the first time. But is anyone else surprised in general about how like not gory this movie is for a John Carpenter movie?
It's pretty bloodless.
Yeah. I mean, even the gunshots, you don't really see anything.
Oh, and like we said, Keith David is technically killed off screen.
I wonder if it was PG-13 until Piper and Keith David started dropping F-bombs, and Carpenter was like, "Oh, whatever. I guess I'll put tits in it now."
I can see that.
If I'm gonna get the R, I might as well lean into it.
Yeah. Can we get squibs? Oh, everyone's gone? Okay. Well, lady, how do you feel about taking your top off?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I'll just put the clapper over here.
It's very autistic, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's integral to the plot.
It sounded like, yeah, that's the ticket. Wait a second, why is Tommy Flanagan the director? Okay, well, that's They Live.
That's They Live. Yep.
So I think across the board, we're here for this.
Right? Oh, yeah. I recommend this movie,
Absolutely.
100%.
But again, people, this movie has a few flaws.
It's not as good as you remember from 10 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not as great as your hipster cousin describes it.
And not received well at the time.
No, not at all.
But it is a cult classic for a reason.
Exactly, because who knows, guys? 10 years down the line, The Haunting of I can't finish that sentence.
Yeah, they don't all become cult classics.
Maybe we should take a brief siesta and be right back.
What were they thinking?
What Were They Thinking is brought to you by HostGator. HostGator is a leading provider of shared, reseller, VPS, and dedicated hosting solutions. Award-winning support is available 24/7, 365 days a year via phone, email, and live chat. Discover why over 9 million websites trust HostGator. Use the coupon code SCHLOCK for 25% off your first purchase. That's SCHLOCK, SCHLOCK, for 25% off your first purchase.
What Were They Thinking is brought to you today by GameItAll.com. Whether it's video game news, the latest in music, or movie reviews, GameItAll.com is your one-stop shop for all nerdy talk.
What were they thinking?
We're back!
Yes, we are.
Hey guys.
Yes, Brendan?
It's time for the low haiku.
Yes.
Let me put on my glasses and let me take those off.
Bring it
Ryan.
down there. Bring it down there, Brendan. Bring it down.
Me?
Yeah, getting a little excited there.
I believe that was Ryan that got a little excited there.
You were the one making all the woo.
Oh, I apologize.
Jalapeno.
Yes. So, Nathan, what is the low haiku?
Well, the low haiku is 17 perfect syllables to describe the movie we just spent, the better part of over an hour or so talking about. We've said our piece on it, but we feel there needs to be that perfect stinger, and the low haiku is where we deliver it.
So, Ryan, as our guest, would you like to begin?
Sure, I would like to start with this lo-fi Asmer haiku that you guys are starting up here.
Lean in a bit.
Okay, yeah.
There you go.
A little more lo-fi there. Okay.
There you go. Perfect.
All right. You ready?
Lots of mouth noises, though.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Are you guys... Hold on. Okay, that was... Sorry. I had to get that cleared. All right. Gulp. Let's do this. Evening dreams obey. No thoughts, but to consume, and hey, a long fight scene. Thank you. Oh, thank you.
A sudden jarring shift in tone, much like the film.
Yes, very much, but fitting.
Very
fitting.
very appropriate.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah. Nathan, would you like to take the next one?
Yes.
Okay.
This was a satire. Oscar for Roddy Piper. Formaldehyde face. I feel I hit the important beats with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Wish I could deny. Wish it was outdated, but still relevant now.
Good socio-political commentary on your part.
Can't you just think about how things are things, man?
Right.
We all took a different approach on it. I enjoyed that.
All valid though. There we go.
Okay. All right.
I get a headache when I do that.
Yeah, you put those glasses on for too long.
Right. Hey, you need some of that gas that Dennis Hopper had in Blue Velvet to get back in the groove of things. Not as far as he did, but just to not to be so comatose.
Well, before I start yelling out "mommy," we should probably move on to our next segment, because Nathan, we talked about this movie.
We did, yeah.
But what do we always say?
Well, we always say,
Don't take a word for us.
That's right. Don't take our word for it, but I think this is
can. Yeah,
yeah.
you can.
This is a kind of a first. Well, maybe not a total first, but it's a rarity. This movie is fresh on both accounts. Mm-hmm. Critics 86%.
Yep.
And it's certified fresh.
Yep.
And the audience is at a 79%. Mm-hmm. I think most of the critics ones are modern reviews.
Yes.
I feel like most of the negative ones were written around the time.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But yeah, that's what we got. So shall we dive into this?
Yeah, let's.
All right, well, the first one here comes from Phil Hode of The Guardian. He says, the film was responding to the start of the U.S. Rust Belt and Reagan-era consumerism, but its themes of working-class subjugation and omnipresent media control have only become more pressing.
Okay. Well, I got Desmond Ryan here from the...
Desmond Ryan Gilbert.
Right, from the Philadelphia Inquirer. Mm-hmm. He's probably just snobby because Roddy Piper's in it. It's not an ECW guy. As a movie, They Live is lethargic. As election propaganda, it's terrific.
I was thinking you were going to be like, where was 911? James Kendrick from the Q Network Film Desk says, a smart movie wrapped inside a dumb movie.
Yes, that's a pretty apt description.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Jeffrey M. Anderson from Combustible Celluloid says, with Carpenter's clear widescreen direction and his skill and enthusiasm at their highest peak, this is a masterpiece. Review written April 26, 2016.
Aha. High praise in the future.
Yeah.
This is from Steve Newton of the Georgia Straight. Says, Carpenter should stick to what he's good at, scaring folks, and leave the political satire to Spitting Image.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That I feel that movie may have actually that review had been written around the same time of the movie, because Spitting Image was a thing at that time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, what is... I don't even know what that is.
Spitting Image, it's those I don't know, they're like British latex puppets.
Okay.
That were done caricature style, mostly of political and public figures. Look them up. DC Follies, I think, would have been the American equivalent. Let's see here. Oh, David Sterrett from the Christian Science Monitor.
Yeah.
Nothing but good here.
Yeah. Sometimes they're pretty on point. I gotta say. But this one here says, too bad director John Carpenter doesn't match his tantalizing premise with snappy, thoughtful filmmaking. Long stretches of the movie are trite and silly.
He's not wrong. But technically.
Especially, that whole first act.
Yeah, the whole first act's not great, guys.
No.
And then I've got one last one here from our old friend Ken Hankey of the Mountain Express.
Oh, friend of the podcast, I'm guessing.
We'll have him on one day. As is often the case with Carpenter, the concept is better than the execution. So he's not a John Carpenter fan.
Well, let's unpack that just a little bit. We did joke about it in the opener. He's got some misses. That's for sure.
He has
Yeah.
I don't know if it's I want to say just as many, but I don't think just as many as he has hits, but it's close.
Yeah.
Especially if we're including box office flops. Because even
this
his good ones didn't do well.
This one here, and I don't know if this has been applied through festivals or re-releases into theaters or something like that. The budget on this was only $3 million, and it made $13 million.
Oh, so it didn't flop.
No, it didn't. But they opened the descriptor of the wiki article saying the film was a minor success at the time of its release.
Okay. So maybe 3 million is an estimated thing then.
And it originally received negative reviews criticizing its social commentary, writing, and acting. However, like other films of Carpenter, it later enjoyed a cult following and eventually became recognized as a largely underrated work.
It's kind of like what happened to Prince of Darkness. Oh wait.
Oof. Moving on.
Should we go into the audience?
Yes, let's.
All right, cool. Let's read some audience reviews because I have one from, and this is how he writes it, Mr. Andre Locust. He gives this movie...
Andre Locust!
Thank you.
You're welcome.
He gives this movie 5 stars, and he says, "Hello, reader. I find the They Live film to be a entertaining film, and that is why I own the DVD."
Oh, okay.
Just wants you to know.
Yeah. Donald E. wrote, B-movie royalty, classic 80s sci-fi. If you're looking for Academy Award-winning performances, then don't waste your time. But if you like sci-fi B-movies, then this is for you.
Okay. Stan M is Stan M is an interesting sort of fella. He gives us a 3.5 star rating. Says the part that everyone misses is that John Carpenter apparently knew that aliens were actually living among us, just as he depicted in the movie. We're not alone, and some of them look just like us. This is a documentary.
Okay. Well, Milo T.
Milosh?
He gave it, Milo T. Gave it 2 stars. The general idea is good, but the B-series treatment eats a lot of points.
I think that's the best part.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
The campiness is what makes it super enjoyable.
If the whole movie had been like the first 30 minutes, I think we'd be still talking about the movie, but in a much different light.
Yeah.
So that switch, while jarring, did save it.
Definitely kicks it into a higher gear.
Yeah. Stephen B gives it 3 stars, and he says, I don't know why he put too long didn't read, because there's no other big comment he wrote, but anyway. Satirical look at brainwashing in modern society. Chessy, fun, 80s action film with a weird but surprisingly interesting plot that is almost a satirical look at brainwashing in modern society without taking it too seriously. Plus, it's directed by James Cameron.
Wait, James Cameron?
That's what it says.
What a movie that would be.
So I got one here. And it's anonymous. Because they gave it 2 stars.
Anonymous.
No, I think most of the folks involved with Anonymous would be on board with this movie.
They would think it's real.
Yeah, lizard people and everything.
We made this.
Well, they live while we sleep. 2 stars. Fun, if heavy-handed premise, but not enough is done with the seeing behind the surface, and the movie is otherwise slow and spends too much time on long, drawn-out fights, chases, and walking around.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah.
Andy G gives it 4 stars, and this is exactly as he's writing it. They Love is a classic sci-fi horror movie.
I knew it.
They learn. They learn.
Bell, a drifter, coming into town.
Bell?
Yep,
Bell?
that's his name. Is
Okay.
finding out that the sunglasses these people have in boxes, I can see the aliens that are controlling the city. Good classic action. Roddy Piper and Keith David star in the movie. B, 1988.
Okay.
I just imagine, like, there's a town with a bunch of glasses. I can see the signs all around.
I can hear.
I can hear you.
Because of glasses.
Bonjour, bonjour.
Hit musical starting right now.
Oh, Roddy Piper and the Beast. Make it happen.
Mason G gave it 5
wait,
stars.
Sorry, hold on. I just have to say one more thing. Piper and the Keith. There we go.
Piper and the Keith. Piper and the Keith.
Piper!
Okay, we're really getting off here.
Oh, you damn right I
Mason
am.
G. Yikes.
You really love this movie.
And then I came. All right, calm down, Mansukas. Jason G gave it 5 stars, and he writes, although this movie is fictional, it displays what our society as a whole is like today.
Whoa.
Right?
That's like...
Blew my mind, man.
That's pretty deep, man.
It was written after October 17th, 2018. So.
Well, that was the time when the truth should have come out at that time.
Oh, I've got one more. It's
Okay.
from Kenneth G. He gives it
Kenny G?
Kenny, yeah. Well,
Does it with the saxophone?
guys, we have to take him seriously now. It's Kenneth.
Okay.
It's a different stage of his career. He's moving on up to the big house. He says, again, so many typos in these reviews. Forgot Star Wars. Here's LA in 1988. Content entertaining, but action scenes not from another world. P.S. They had homeless people.
They what?
No idea.
Okay.
Kenneth G is
Kenny G.
Yeah, the fame has messed with his head.
I think that wraps it up. That's good. It's solid.
All right. Well,
They told us we were made aware that not only now do they have homeless people, but they had homeless people in the 80s as well.
With their own shanty towns.
Yep.
yeah, and then Will Smith and Martin Lawrence drove through it
Right.
carelessly. Okay, well, let's move on then. Let's find out. Let's get a little hint-ski as to what we're doing next week. I'm gonna drop a little hint for you.
Okay.
So next week, obviously, we're doing a wrestling event. We're gonna be talking about a wrestling event, and here's your little hint. It's a triple dance.
Okay.
There we go. So, with that being said, Montrose, is he there to say a little hello?
Yep. Hello! It's a good friend Montrose here. And well, I do appreciate that you had me on for that Spice movie. I feel I would have been better fitted as a guest for this and also your next episode, but I am a busy chimp and do not have time for such things. But I do have time to invite you to my YouTube channel, Montrose Monkington TV. If you do like what you see there, you can head on over to my Facebook group, Montrose Monkington III Esquire and Friends, and also follow me on Twitter at Montrose III. That's the number 3 RD. Mr. Gilbert, it was nice to see you, and thank you. More later.
Wow, I got to see Montrose too. Awesome.
Yeah.
It's a big day,
Yeah.
banner day for you, buddy.
Yeah, man.
In person, in the flesh.
And in the fur.
Yeah, in the... Oh, God. That sounds like a weird remake of In the Cut.
Whoa, that's dirty.
or like what Happy Time Murders was originally called.
Oh,
Yeah.
what was it originally called?
Oh, it just sounds like In the Fur might be the title.
In the fur. That's the name of the porno that they were shooting backstage.
Oh, God, I forgot about that scene.
The first part. I love that movie.
Ooh.
Oh, it's so fun.
Well, Ryan. You'll be back next week.
Brandon. What's that? Yes, I will.
But I still want to thank you for joining us this week to talk
Yeah,
about
no problem.
this.
This was a very, very fun experiment for your podcast. Like, They Live, you're going to get a lot of blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
You guys put a great lens to it.
You know what? I am going to, if I see anything, and because I'm super on top of social media,
Of course.
I'm constantly right there every single time there's a tweet. My response is going to be watch it again.
Yeah.
Watch it again.
And none of us are saying it's like bad.
No, but watch it
just
with a serious critical eye.
Mm-hmm. It's got flaws. That's all we're saying.
Yeah.
A few.
Yeah.
First 30 minutes are bad. Trust us.
But then Roddy Piper and Keith David will keep you entertained.
That's right. Unless you don't like 6-minute fight scenes. But yeah. So again, thanks, Ryan. And now I guess I should plug the show. Ryan, do you have anything to plug as well?
Nothing. You can just follow me on Twitter at SlackerWriter. I got really nothing at the time being, but there's that.
Yeah. Well, send your nudes to Ryan on Twitter.
Okay, cool.
Slide into his DMs.
Yeah, slide into his dirty mouth.
Oh my.
And of course, you can find our podcasts all over the interwebs. We're on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, all that good stuff. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at WWTT Podcast. Search for us on Facebook. Just search What Were They Thinking. You can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/WWTT Podcast, as well as TeePublic and Redbubble. So, with that being said, Nathan, I guess I just have a few questions for you.
Oh, do you?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. Give her a shot.
Okay. Well, in a movie where it takes a long time to get going.
Yes.
In a movie that when it does get going makes a very jarring turn in Roddy Piper's character.
Right.
In a movie where, I mean, sunglasses allow you to hear things.
Right.
Like on your eyes that make your ears work.
Right.
Like that's what we're saying.
I got the question, yep.
Like and in a movie where, hold on, the sunglasses thing,
right?
That's what were they thinking?
I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. Hi, this is Tony, the host of the Flix X-Rayed podcast. Each week, I am joined by guests.
Ew.
Hello.
Yo.
Why, hello there.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
And we have a roundtable discussion where we dig deep and X-ray a bunch of our favorite films, and some really terrible ones too. We really like to go back and take a look at films that may be forgotten, maybe in the past, and still lovable films. If you want, you can follow us on all the major platforms, iTunes, Google, Stitcher.
If you want to find out more, you can find us online at www.flixxrayed.com.
And you can also find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram if you want to reach out to us. Good night, Internet.